monitor online? Okay. Can you just yes. Done also. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, but your voice is echo.
Just a moment. Now just check. Hello.
Could you
Is it
please
fine?
use the headphone?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am, it's fine.
It's fine, it seems now, no?
It's okay.
Yes,
Echo,
ma'am,
ma'am.
audible.
Okay, okay. Now, in the previous session, we started with the application of digital business. Now, up till here, we saw the theory. Now, further, we are continuing with the application of the digital business. And the first part is with reference to business-to-business model, how it is applicable. So here, the other name for this is e-tailing. So I have already told you what is e-tailing. E-tailing is through internet. When we do any business with the medium of online transactions, it is e-tailing. I think whether I can reach, whether you understand what I am speaking, because your faces, through your faces, I cannot make out really whether you are understanding anything or whether my voice is reachable. Nobody, everybody, I don't know whether they are here. So let me move ahead, let me ask questions. So here, this is what is e-tailing. So there are many business models. Now, when we say it's a business model, what comes to your mind? Now, this would be an interactive session. There may be in the online mode, it was difficult, but here it is possible since you are in front of me. So what do you understand by business model? First of all, because there is a word business model. Any idea? You might have some ideas, you might be knowing also, many of you. These are just the types, so there is no point in going there on the slide. Okay, basically. So if I say there is one example quoted Dell, okay, that is one company which is into business. If you say Tupperware, that is into operating into business. If you see pharmaceutical industry, we have it. If you see any of the FMCG industry, that is fast moving consumer goods, like Parle-G or brand, or maybe you can take HLL, PNG, all of these companies. Okay. Yes. So I just gave you the names of few companies or brands, anything. So anything clicks now as far as this business model is considered. Today on our smartphones, we have many apps, the digital apps also. So I gave you something, yes. Platform of business, yes, nearing to that. Again, what do you mean by platform of business here? Yes, see here, yes. Now, because of this pandemic, you know, many of the traditional businesses, if you see, very less percentage was there as far as this online businesses were considered. Very few companies opted for online business. But due to the situation, due to the pandemic scenario, there was a compulsion made for the firms of businesses to try out for some options to reach to the customers. So this is one type of business model where usually we had from the manufacturers through the intermediaries to the customers. Like we have in FMCG or pharmaceuticals, you have dealers. If you want to buy a four-wheeler, you have the dealer. If you have any FMCG, you have the retailer and the dealer in between the company and the customer. This is what is the traditional model to reach the customer. Now here, because of the pandemic, it was mandatory for the companies to think, or it was forced to have some options. Now, let me give you an example of the First Cry. You might have heard. First Cry usually it had a business model which started through online mode. They did not have the physical retail outlets or stores. Isn't it? Whether you have an idea about this, you might have heard about this brand company. But now, if you see, you will find the retail outlets are there. Again, because of pandemic, there was a problem, but they started with this. So they initiated with the online model and switched on to the retail outlet, or they have today outlet. So it depends upon the company, depending upon the core competencies. If the company feels that we are technologically very sound, where we can reach the customers and we have all the infrastructure facilities like Dell had. Okay, that was their USP. This was the first company which started with the direct marketing concept. So that is the business model which that company opted. Now against this, if you consider other companies, they go through the traditional means. So or Tupperware, maybe there are intermediaries, maybe they have the chain of people linked, or for that matter, Avon or Amway. So they have their business model. So here, as you said, the platform, it means how to reach to the end customer. Ultimate aim of any business is gaining the profits and gaining the market share. Market share and profits are two different aspects, but it depends upon the company's objective, what they want to achieve. So here, that is what is the business model. Though there are many other things attached to it, but for right at this moment, we consider it that every company has their own objectives and they have their own process, or they have their methodology adapted to reach to the end customers. So that is what is the business model. Now here, when you take the electronic commerce as a means or as a medium to reach to the end customers, there are different models which the company can think of. Now again, today, if you see, we are on the normal mode, okay, right from online to offline. Then what will happen to that online? Maybe many of the companies will think of having both of the things. That is also the possibility. The traditional mail order retailers, also the online, it is known as the traditional mail order, which we used to follow traditionally. Now, when we speak about B2B businesses, okay, now because of the IT revolution, we can say, we have the ERP technology, isn't it? We have the SAP models which are available. So these models help to reach the end customers. Now, previously, maybe a decade back, when the PCs, or maybe before 90s, 85, 86, in B2B businesses, if you see, usually they used to have the conversation in writing format we used to have, which is transformed to email. Just the application of IT was restricted only to sending the mails. The order was used to send on the mail. They used to get it. As far as payments was considered, there was no option during those days. Slowly and steadily, the IT started penetrating. There were new technology. It started gaining impetus for the businesses. And then, if you see the mail order system, that is even today in some of the companies, they do follow it. Where technology is a problem, where they just want to restrict it. They do not want to go for much of the ERP and all. Now, where can you think of such type of possibility? Where high-end IT is not penetrated, just is restricted to mail or just in the writing format. Still, even in India, still, does it exist? We are discussing different models. Okay. So do you feel that it still exists? In which type of businesses? This is the traditional one. Very less percentage of IT is included and more of the traditional part is used there. Is it there still, or everything is in the digital form? What is your opinion? 80% is in digital form. On paper still. What about the government sector? All of the government sectors? 50-50. What about the rural areas where there are many businesses? 80-20. So here, I didn't wanted to ask you the ratio basically, or didn't wanted to have the statistics. Basically, I want to say that there are still many companies, maybe in rural areas, doing very well. If you see, they have the local packaging, the local brands. Their businesses are very huge, but they are not equipped with that much of technology. They do not have the ERP software or the SAP applications or some other tools. So that's why we say traditional mega orders. Even that businesses are running, no? They are running very well, isn't it? If you visit the nearby Mahabaleshwar or Satara, very near, you will find many of the outlets are there. They are based on, maybe if you take a simple example like the fruit juices or the pulp manufacturing industry or any of the type of businesses, they are doing very well. Or self-help groups. Okay, but there the penetration is not that much as if you see the IT penetration has not reached up to that maximum level as we will see down there are other models also. So this is one type of model. Now down the line with the training and with the penetration of more of the infrastructure, IT infrastructure, there is a possibility that we will shift ahead. So that is the basic model, preliminary one. Then direct marketing to by the manufacturers. Now here from direct companies, it reaches to the end customers. Now in the pandemic, many of them, they have used this model. Now here there are two options basically. The company takes an initiative, like I have given you an example of Dell, where the themselves take the order and reaches to the customers. Now if you see the pros and cons of this model of direct marketing by the manufacturer, that is reaching the end customers. So if you take the advantages in terms of B2C selling here, now B2B is also possible and B2C is also there. So here again there are two criteria. If B2C is there, direct customers, there is a advantage for the customers that there is no intermediary, and that's why the prices are passed on. So they get the goods at a very inexpensive rate, we can see here in this case. B2B businesses also, since the bulk orders are placed and it becomes very helpful. Now, as far as timing is considered, it reaches very quickly. As far as the pricing is considered, even there also you will find that as far as price attribute is considered, it is also well. What about the supply chain management? Now here, with reference to this part, the company faces few issues, and that's one of the important criteria. We can say not as a weakness, but we say it as a challenge for the companies to maintain the supply chain logistic management part to reach to the customers. Now, many of you might have experienced that initially when the Amazon, there was a problem as far as the supply chain management was considered. The people, whether you have faced any such type of experiences, maybe your friends, nobody. But maybe you had ordered one and the customer received something else. Or the time frame was 2 days and it was just 8 days also passed and the customer did not receive the goods. So here, the back-end support is one of the challenging parts as far as the direct marketing is considered. Now what happened? That's why many of the companies, they started having a chain of agents. That is the extension model, we can say. Chain of agents, we have Tupperware. We say it's from company to direct customers. Is it so? Or Amway or Avon? Like that. I just gave you to name a 2-3 brands. We say it's a direct marketing. Is it really a direct marketing from the company to the customer? No. Then what it is? So whether it is feasible to say this? When we speak, we say it's a direct marketing and all these companies are included there. You might have seen the example. Yes. Policy of marketing, but then why we say so? That from the company to the customers. Soft में नहीं होता है. Now here, listen, when we say from a direct company to the customers, initially even Amway or Avon, they had this approach. Software hota hai, we are speaking of physical transfer of goods. I am not speaking about physical transfer of goods. I am speaking about direct order given to the company and receiving directly from the company. That is what I am speaking about. So here, previously, if you had seen when Amway introduced, okay, in India, they had to have some, see, directly you cannot reach the customers and convince. You should have some intermediaries. They did not have retailers. They did not have retailers, dealers. Then who they had? Swadeshi was also one company, if you remember, in direct marketing, if you recall. Like that, even we have many companies. So here, in between the customer and the company, whom they had? Did they had anybody? Anybody who has used any of these products? Nobody? And they want Tupperware? Nobody. So the company themselves recruits the business associates. Okay. They themselves have the agents. We do not call them agents. They are the business development, maybe managers, business development associates. These are the names given to them. So they bridge the gap and they represent the company. They are given proper training. They work on the behalf of the company and they bridge the gap between the customers and the organization or the company. Now, even ahead of this, okay, if you have seen now, you get the product directly from the web store of Amway, web stores of Avon. What is this? This is direct marketing because of online, as we said. Physically, but you can place the order directly without any intermediary of this business associate. So previously in India, we used to have this intermediary, but then they have shifted this mode because only the customer, those who were in contact of that particular associate, business associate or business development manager, they were only the target customers. So it was difficult for the company to reach to other markets because many of the people, they know that the product is available. It is there in the market, but how to approach? We do not know any business associate. So how to purchase the product? That was one of the problems with the customers, and hence company shifted to direct marketing. So have you understood this part? Direct marketing by manufacturers, what it was, how it has changed, and why it has changed. Am I moving too fast? Maybe after 2 years, even I am also speaking like this, and you are also listening. That's why maybe initially there was some okay, but now I see that the faces are a bit different. So if any doubts are there, just open up. We can clear the doubts and go ahead. Am I too fast? No. You can catch up with me. Now here, pure play e-tailers, only online. This specifically I have mentioned this part because you will not be able to understand the words. That's why just to simplify, there are some of the words which are attached to it, like only online. Pure play retailers, in spite of, now this, initially I spoke of one of the traditional means still in India, we do have. This is the opposite of that, where the companies think that it would be a wastage to have retail stores, to have the company outlets. Totally they believe in online marketing. or having the online businesses. Now, when this scenario is possible, for which type of companies this is possible? That they say that we just want to go for online business. We do not want any retail outlet. For whom it is possible? These are the characteristics. There is no need of physical store. For whom this is possible? Who will think of such type of business model? Like initially Dell had. Now here, irrespective of the organization or the manufacturer companies, it can be even a small scale industry also. It can be a startup firm. It can be an entrepreneur. It can be a freelancer, anybody. We do not consider this as a big organization or a big entity. So do not confuse between the second one and the third one. I have written certain word there, beneficial for niche market. Now, since both of the subjects are related, we have studied this in marketing, while segmentation, niche marketing, niche market, what it is. So with reference to that, that third model is there. Suppose I just give an example, I'm a painter. I like to paint. There are people, those who praise, or maybe I'm a writer. I don't want to go through the traditional mode. I don't want to sell through the intermediaries. I do not want to offer margins, because when you take the intermediaries in between, you need to pass on the margins or commissions to them. So here, I do not want to do that. So for them, this is the option. Or maybe I'm a designer. I design the suits. I do not want to have anything retail. Many of them today are opting for this, especially startup firms, because funding is a problem, because investment is one of the factors. They do not have that much funds initially when it is a startup firm. Advertisements, ad agencies. If you have seen all these type of agencies, the niche markets are with reference to specialized customized products. Specialized customized products means what all category comes into this? Which types of product come into this? Niche marketing, which is not based upon the production concept, where the masses, they don't prefer this. Very few of them, they will prefer this product. But yes, it is a small segment. Which type of products will come into this? Any idea? I gave an example of a painting. Very few people, there is certain specific set, and those who are ready to spend that much on that painting, very few people are there. So there is no need for having the store. Any other type of product which come into this category? Anything which comes to your mind, whether you have understood what I am speaking? Because I do not understand whether you are thinking about this thing, what I have asked you the question, or whether you are thinking about what I spoke. This type of product come into this category? That is my question. If you can think, recollect. Okay, you have not understood the question, do you mean? Okay, I'm asking you, see, pure play or e-tailers, only online mode. Okay, I gave an example, a startup firm, where they do not have that much money to set up a retail outlet. So they will go for this. I gave you an example of maybe a painting, a painter. There is no need. Exhibitions is one of the options, but he doesn't want to go there. He may have his own web store and just wants to cater to the need of those people, those who have preference and liking for this type of product. Can you think of any other product which come into this category of niche market? Not necessarily here, it should be only niche market when you take a startup. if it is just a catering type of business, suppose, and they go for only online mode, where, you know, they do not have store. I cook at one place, maybe my house, I do not have any other option. Can I think of this as a business model? It will not work. Why it will not work? 100%. See, I need the orders. I need to reach the masses, the customer. They should get the product. How I will deliver it, it's my headache. Okay. For that, I should have some provision. So will this model come into this category? Whether it will click or no is my question. Think as a from the okay. In pandemic, what did people do? They knew. Do you feel so? What about others? He's only speaking. What about the others? Do you agree to him? Has it happened in pandemic? Yes. Now some foods are there. How do you come to know whether the food is good, or irrespective of food, any other product, whether it is good or no? How will you come to know? As you said very right, that I do not know what is the taste. It is about the taste, but other products which are maybe a still expensive ones, like you can think of by branding. Do not have time to brand. How the brand is created? Now in the online store, how the brand is created then? Have you purchased through the online store anything? You might have purchased, no? Yes. Whether you have purchased only those items which you know, or whether out of the box something which you have, which you don't know, which you didn't had idea, still you have purchased. Hai ki nahi hai? No, nothing. So you are restricted, you are confined, you do not want to experiment. Okay, that is one set then. So most of you come into that set only. There are also people who try. Now here, see, listen, in the pandemic situation, many of them, they didn't have the options. Now, as you said, taste choices, when this is possible, when your option is available, okay? When maybe you visit the store once and then you are just assured that, yes, it is good. Why the ratings are there? Whether there are ratings? Why the ratings are there? When you speak about branding, when you speak about knowing the brand or the... Yes, yes. So what it is called as? Is it taking us towards branding? Yes. Isn't it? So is it taking us towards reliability? Brand is associated with the reliability of the product. How do you feel that the product is reliable? Simple example of even the doctor's clinic. If you just type on the internet, you will get the ratings. 1 star, 2 star, you get the reviews. Okay? Why the reviews are important? Yes. Branding or word of mouth publicity. Brand is one of the ways to which how the through mouth of publicity, the brand is created. Isn't it? Now you understood why and how, you know, from here to there we are moving. So here, when I say it's a niche market, suppose if there is a cosmetic surgeon, I don't know, cosmetic surgeon, maybe a doctor has referrals. Now here referrals are who? Our doctors. During pandemic, there was no possibility that we could directly meet them. So here the ratings played a very important role. So for such type of businesses where for the first time a customer opts, so he goes for review or the ratings of that particular service or businesses. Now, if something specialized is there, like when we speak about business to business, if you are manufacturing some item and I need with reference to particular specification, you can take the automobile industry where I need something specific for my automobile. I have given an example of steel. Steel is used as a raw material for many of the industries, but I have certain specific requirements. That is becomes the, if you have something out of the box, it becomes the niche market. where nobody is the player and you demand something which is customized, something which is different from the ongoing trend. So that comes into this. So where the masses, they are not there, where the manufacturer or the company does not have masses as a segment. Very few people are there, but still they are there, and the manufacturer or the service industry wants to cater to their needs. Then we say niche marketing, they also use this pure play or e-retailers just only through online mode. They do not have any investments as far as the offline store is considered, only virtual marketing we can see here. The click and mortar retailers and multi-channeling. Now here multi-channel, there is one word first. I go to this part and then this. Click and mortar, what it is? You have studied this part in marketing in the first chapter. There were some core concepts of marketing. The other next one also, the brick and mortar retailer. The two aspects, the core concept. भूल गए? So here many of the companies which opt for more than one channel, it is called as multi-channeling. There is a manufacturer who reaches the customers by the traditional way. They move from the distributor to the retailer to the end customer. That is one way. Next way, I just have dealers and the customers. The third way, I just connect with the customers directly. Dell has changed from the direct marketing because of the more of the competition from HP. Okay, it changed its model. Today, if you see even in the retail store, you will get the PCs. Yes or no? It's available. So here, the different scenarios, the environmental settings make the manufacturers opt for inculcation of different strategies. So here, when the company thinks of having the physical store also and through online mode also and through other things also, that is, they are spending more. But for this, the company has to invest more money. It has to be established. It's not possible for the new company which has initially started or a startup firm. It becomes very difficult to go for the multi-channeling part. In B2B business also here, many of the companies, as I said, they are in B2B, B2C. So for B2B, they have the direct channel. B2C, they will have to think about different channels of intermediary to reach the end customers. Business to government, even that is one thing. Maybe a manufacturer is there who is catering to government, who is catering to businesses, who is catering to customers. So there are different mediums wherein the company can think of reaching the end customers. So this part comes in this click and mortar retailers and multi-channeling. So here, if you take an example of pharmaceutical industry, the equipment manufacturers for the pharma sector, there is a company who has their own offices. There is a company who has a carrying and forwarding agent. There is some other medium, a person who takes care of catering to the demand of just the government sector, maybe government hospitals, where they require this equipment to cater to those needs. So there the channel is different. So understood up till here. The next part is a brick and mortar retailer. Here it means the physical store usually. The traditional means where a person goes. See, though online mode is available, though it is convenient, many of the people, they don't have time to visit. It is very comfortable for them today to just click and place the order as well as pay. But still there is also a segment, those who like to be on the street. So we cannot deny them. If you have seen, the streets are flooded now because of the opening up. Since the government has allowed people, if you just visit, any of the parts. If you go to Tulsi Bagh, if you go to FC Road, you will see there are streets are flooded. So one cannot say just that this model only will work. Though we have the option, but still people visit no. Why? Because they have their preferences. They have their own, they would like to have they would like to visit the stores, they would like to feel the fabric, maybe they just want to try out the product, which is not possible in the online mode, where there are technical specifications and technicalities are involved. There this is possible. In businesses also, where you require equipment or machinery, where specifications are more important and aesthetic value takes a very less role to play, there you will find this. Next is convergence and omni-channel combination. When any of the manufacturers thinks of having a combination of all of this, any of these segments, it is known as the convergence and omni-channel. Convergence means bringing together, integrating more than one channel together to reach the end customers. And today, most of the companies, those companies which are established, they are using this integrated approach. Now here we can take an example of any of the corporate giants, where even they have their own web store, including more than one product also. The whole of the portfolio is visible and customer can hop on any of the tabs. They may have the diversified products or they may have the related products. Irrespective of that, the customer is given the choice. Now the next part comes retailing in online malls. Here, basically there are two types. Now if you have understood the first part, the models, then depending upon the models, you try to reach the end customers. How you reach the end customers, that is what is retailing in the online malls. There are two types. The first one is referring directories and the second one is malls with shared services. We in day-to-day life, we are using all these things. Only the wordings are different. Please understand this. Those who are purchasing through the online mode, they have used all of the, they go through this mode. Okay. Now first, if you take referring directories, directory organized by the product type. Now referring directories, what do you understand by this? Suppose if you want to have a know-how of particular services or particular products or name of particular agency, what you used to do in the traditional mode? We had our yellow pages or we had the directories phone we used to have. Similarly, in the online mode also, on the web portals, suppose if you are entering into such a type of web portal where there are different products or services which are showcased, the website is there. If you click the product, you directly enter to the website or web page of that particular owner. You enter to that website or the web store with reference to particular company. That is what is referring directory. You have know-how of how to reach that particular company or particular product, but just you enter the portal, you have seen it. You just are, maybe you want to know, you are curious to know, and you just click, you enter to the web page of one portal and enter to the other. That is what is referring directory. Similarly, we see the banner ads are there. You are on the web portal of one company, but there is something which is clicking or popping up. There are pop-ups which are coming up, and you just click, you enter that website. So the parent website is different, and through this you enter a loop where different pages are opened up. They are the banner ads. Like we have the banner ads whenever we visit, we have the billboards which are displayed. Similarly, here also on the online, through the online mode, you have this. Now, this is previous slide was what are the types of models. This is how to reach the end customers, how to actually assign the task and move ahead to reach or to gain the objective. So here, if you click on that specific ad, you will reach the specific web store. This is just for simplification. These points are just for the simplification to better make you understand what exactly is included in it. So whenever the ads open, if you click, you reach those particular website. So one can say that what is the use of it? Why to have this referring directories? Let me discuss this and I will come to that part. Malls with shared services. Amazon is one of the best examples which come into this part, B category, malls with shared services. If you enter, if you just type, you get full of services or maybe much more than that. Now to create awareness, even the portal was not enough for this company. Such a big company, okay, huge presence, everybody knows about it, but still it had to come up with a different ad to make the people aware of services. Google Pay, paying of the electricity bills, that ad is there. Why don't you pay online through Apna Google? So why this? Google hai, people visit. Okay, people will come to know, no? Why they had to make a separate ad for this? Advertise costs a huge expenditure. Companies spend huge on advertisement, isn't it? But still, a company like this, which has the presence, they came up with a different ad just to make the people aware about what are the services they include, isn't it? So that is what, this is one example. There are other web portals also where these companies, they provide the shared services. Now moving ahead with the other B2C models with reference to if you see the models, just now I discussed with reference to companies like B2B, business, business to business. Some companies are there, they just go for the first model, that is B2C, business to consumers, whereas there are some companies which are just restricted to B2B. Their business is so huge, the demand is so huge that they do not want to enter into the customer segment because customer demand, they vary. They just restrict themselves to this one criteria, that is B2B. And in B2B also today, we see the next point, B2C, social shopping. You remove the word social and C, that is customer. We have B2B also through the online portals today. Now, many of you, if you have seen the Facebook, on the website itself, you have through the social networking, the companies are trying to reach to the customers. Take a Facebook page. Have you seen that? Business portal, they have their own, isn't it? So why it is there? Even the companies are tapping with the help of these social media platforms also. B2B, whether they are there, yes. But unless until you have a customer or people there, you cannot move ahead, and that's why the importance of the word social comes. People come together, that is what is socialization, we say. And they use the online medium like Twitter or Google, Facebook to move ahead with the B2B business. It works more for B2C, but even for B2B also it works. B2C, social shopping. Should I say anything on this? No? Immediately you get the responses on the social media that maybe this is something new or newly arrived. Please have a look at it. People just click the photos, they put what? Why this is? Because here people like to showcase themselves, they portray, that is one aspect. Second important thing is maybe really those who are needy or those who are looking out for that product or genuine review about the product or the services. in case of travel and tourism, you might have found out that these are the examples in case of maybe health issues or referring the doctors, or with reference to other services related to medical. These things work more better. Apart from this, there are other services also like schooling, education. There also this thing matters more. Just now we spoke of ratings, but here individual ratings are considered to the social networking. The individual person states their own opinions and they are more genuine. No? Here ratings are given in the first criteria which we discussed. But again, somewhere, we go on the ratings, but we are not 100% assured. But in case of where a person himself is sharing the experience, then the reliability factor is more inclined. The trust builds up. And hence people are trying for this online mode nowadays. Now, these are some of the examples like Amazon.com or Netflix, which emphasizes on the social engagements today. And here, this affects the rating factor. The previously, where we had the rating, where we did not knew. Okay, here the person knows. Where is the name of the person? Anybody can call the person also. In rating part, there, it's not individual. You just have the stars or the ratings you come to know. You don't come to know who has rated. But here, you understand the person. You can call the person and take the feedback. Now, in case of blogs, discussion groups, the Twitters. Now, blogs, many of them, they write the blogs. Many of them, they are genuine. And they are praised for what they write, or it is a critical analysis. Many of them, they are paid by the companies for writing the blog, and they are more genuine. Now here, how to understand about the genuinity factor? That is again a issue. Now it depends upon the judgment of a person. How much frequently you read the blog, how much frequently you visit the website, you try to gain the knowledge. Suppose you are also a genuine person who is interested in reading something, and you understand that there is a map between your perceptions and what the person is writing. Next time you start following them blindly. First time maybe you also research, but ahead you focus more on what the other person has said, and you do not take that burden, or maybe you don't take much effort on researching part. You directly just check for the blogs written by a particular person. Even these bloggers, they are praised by the company, they are paid by the company. Some of them, they are the freelancers also, wherein they compare the products of different companies and they give the feedback. They are the consultants. Now, flash deals, you are aware, a very simple concept, deals of the day. We do have maybe Flipkart, Snapdeal, Amazon. Yeah, hello, WhatsApp, immediately, everybody knows. So here, these are the referrals through which the company tries to, but again, there is a question, how many of them they are able to grab the company? Very less here. Again, it depends upon a person, how much impulsive they are. For many of them, on the impulse, just they go ahead and they purchase. Maybe I got a mobile for so and so. Many of them say, no, it's not worth. It's not trusted one, do not believe. Just jane do. So here, it depends upon the thinking of the person. Online group booking. Just we have in the physical entities, even on the online, we do have the same thing. Personalized event shopping. Now here, we have the different clubs. Private shopping clubs are organized, or also group gifting online is there. So these are the two aspects. Maybe on your mobiles, you might see the pop-in of the messages of group discounts being given by the company, or the gifts given by the company. Maybe there was a lottery method and your name was picked up. If you happen to purchase this, you will get it at the less discount. You will have to pay only this much amount. So that is what it is about private shopping and the club group gifting. Now the next is drop shipping. Now here it is a model wherein a seller sells a product and then buys it from the supplier. Now, if we consider the process which is included in this drop shipping, they find a product and a supplier online mode. So in this case, it is most of the B2B businesses which takes place. If you consider this mode of operation, most of the advertisements take place through the online mode. Here, since the masses are not targeted, only the businesses are targeted, they will think of opting for more of the online mode. A buyer search for online products. So here, whenever a company thinks of buying the goods or the products, they will search only through online mode or the online auction form. We had seen the different forms. So one of the form is the auction form, where the products are easily available in bulk quantity at a very less price. Then the person goes for auction, and if he wants to purchase it for the business point of view, from the business point of view. The steps, these are just the steps or the process which are, madam, they find it and then they order it through the online mode and pay. Now here the only the concept in terms of auction is the company should be able to cater to the need of the customer, because it's through bidding process, as we have in case of tenders. Usually this we have in form of tenders. Here also the bidding takes place through the online mode, and whatever is happening, they don't know. The customer, they doesn't know about it. If there are more of the customers who are interested in purchasing it, it's only between the buyer and the seller, only both the parties. Retailer transfers the order to the wholesaler, the manufacturer, or the drop shipping vendor, and finally they get the product shipped. So this is one of the options. So should we stop here today, or should I move ahead? No, any doubt? Yes. No? Understood everything.